Hi there, it's Alicia. Time to put your memory in motion with another baby boomer quiz. We're talking about the tastes you loved, the places you dreamed of visiting, the discoveries that shaped a generation, and the games that kept us cheering. This is quiz time. Which television western starred James Arness as Marshal Matt Dillon? Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Rawhide. Gunsmoke. The first human heart transplant was performed in which country? South Africa, United States, France. South Africa. Which breakfast cereal promised to snap, crackle, and pop? Cornflakes, Rice Krispies, Cheerios. Rice Krispies. Mount Everest was first successfully climbed in which year? 1951, 1953, 1955. 1953. The fondue pot became a popular party accessory during which decade? The 1970s, the 1950s, the 1980s. The 1970s. Which baseball team won the 1969 World Series as underdogs? New York Mets, Baltimore Orioles, Detroit Tigers. New York Mets. The first McDonald's restaurant opened in which state? California, Illinois, Texas. California. DNA's double helix structure was discovered in which decade? 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. 1950s. Which car model became the symbol of American muscle cars? Camaro, Mustang, Challenger. Mustang. The first commercial computer was called UNIVAC, ENIAC, EDVAC. ENIAC. Which Italian city is famous for its bolognese sauce? Rome, Bologna, Milan. Bologna. The Summer of Love occurred in which year? 1966, 1967, 1968. 1967. Which ocean did Thor Heyerdahl cross on the Kon-Tiki raft? Atlantic, Pacific, Indian. Pacific. The polio vaccine was developed by Jonas Salk, Albert Sabin, Louis Pasteur. Jonas Salk. Which cooking show pioneered television food programming? Julia Childs, Graham Kerr's, Craig Kilborn's. Julia Childs. The Munich Olympics hostage crisis occurred in which year? 1970, 1972, 1974. 1972. Which fast food chain introduced the drive-through concept? McDonald's, White Castle, Burger King, White Castle. The transistor was invented at which research facility? IBM, Bell Labs, MIT. Bell Labs. Which dance craze swept America in the 1960s, in the early 1960s? The twist, the hustle, the monkey, the twist. The first artificial satellite weighed approximately 50 pounds, 184 pounds, 300 pounds. 184 pounds. Beef bourguignon originates from which French region? Provence, Burgundy, Normandy. Burgundy. Which game show featured contestants in isolation booths? 21, The Price is Right, What's My Line? 21. The Sahara Desert covers approximately what percentage of Africa? 15%, 25%, 33%. 33%. Velcro was invented by studying which natural phenomenon? Spiderwebs, burdock burrs, gecko feet. Burdock burrs. Which cocktail became popular during the 1950s suburban boom? Manhattan, Martini, Old-fashioned. Martini. The 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team defeated which powerhouse nation? Canada, Soviet Union, Czechoslovakia. Soviet Union. Which airline pioneered frequent flyer programs? Pan Am, American Airlines, United Airlines. American Airlines. The laser was first demonstrated in which year? 1958, 1960, 1962. 1960. Which television variety show launched many comedy careers? The Tonight Show, Saturday Night Live, The Carol Burnett Show. Saturday Night Live. The Great Barrier Reef is located off which continent? Australia, South America, Africa. Australia. Spaghetti carbonara traditionally contains which type of meat? Prosciutto, pancetta, salami. Pancetta. Which boxer was stripped of his title for refusing military service? Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman. Muhammad Ali. The Concorde supersonic jet cruised at which altitude? 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet, 60,000 feet. 60,000 feet. Silicon Valley got its name from which technological development? Semiconductor industry, computer manufacturing, software development. Semiconductor industry. Which dessert was named after a famous ballet dancer? Crepes Suzette, Pavlova, Baked Alaska. Pavlova. The first Super Bowl was played in which year? 1966, 1967, 1968. 1967. Which European country first developed high-speed rail? Germany, France, Italy. Italy. The structure of benzene was determined using which analytical method? Spectroscopy, X-ray crystallography, mass spectrometry. X-ray crystallography. Which television detective was known for his lollipops? Columbo, Kojak, Mannix. Kojak. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in which year? 1957, 1959, 1961. 1959. Quiche became popular in America after originating in which region? Lorraine, Provence, Brittany. Lorraine. Which tennis player won the Grand Slam in 1969? Rod Laver, John Newcombe, Arthur Ashe. Rod Laver. The Learjet revolutionized which type of aviation? Commercial airlines, corporate travel, military transport. Corporate travel. Genetic engineering first succeeded with which organism? Mice, bacteria, plants. Bacteria. Which children's show featured a neighborhood setting? Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street. Sesame Street. The Mariana Trench reaches what maximum depth? 25,000 feet, 30,000 feet, 36,000 feet. 36,000 feet. Beef Wellington wraps meat in which type of pastry? Phyllo, puff pastry, short crust. Puff pastry. Which swimmer won 7 gold medals in 1972? Mark Spitz, Johnny Weissmuller, Don Schollander. Mark Spitz. The hovercraft was invented in which country? United States, Britain, France. Britain. The first successful organ transplant involved which organ? Heart, kidney, liver. Kidney. Which soup became associated with Campbell's red and white cans? Chicken noodle, tomato, vegetable beef. Tomato. The 1976 Olympics were held in which city? Montreal, Moscow, Munich. Montreal. Which luxury ocean liner made its final voyage in 1967? Normandy, Queen Mary, Andrea Doria. Queen Mary. Continental drift theory was proposed by which scientist? Alfred Wegener, Harry Hess, J. Tuzo Wilson. Alfred Wegener. Which comedy show popularized the phrase, "Sock it to me"? The Carol Burnett Show, Laugh-In, The Smothers Brothers. Laugh-In. The deepest point in the ocean is located in which body of water? Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean. Pacific Ocean. Chicken Kiev became popular in which type of restaurant? Fast food, continental, French bistro. Continental. Which golfer won the most major championships in the 1960s? Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player. Jack Nicklaus. The TGV high-speed train operates in which country? Germany, France, Italy. France. The first CT scan was performed in which year? 1970, 1971, 1972. 1971. Which ice cream flavor was invented at Baskin-Robbins? Pralines and cream, Rocky Road, mint chocolate chip. Pralines and cream. The first person to run a sub-4-minute mile was Roger Bannister, John Landy, Jim Ryan. Roger Bannister. The Orient Express connected Paris to which eastern city? Istanbul, Vienna, Budapest. Istanbul. Penicillin was discovered by observing which type of organism? Bacteria, mold, yeast. Mold. Which game show featured couples answering questions about each other? The Newlywed Game, Password, To Tell the Truth. The Newlywed Game. The Ring of Fire refers to volcanic activity around which ocean? Atlantic, Pacific, Arctic. Pacific. Steak Diane was typically prepared using which cooking method? Grilling, flambeing, broiling. Flambeing. Which baseball pitcher threw the first perfect game on television? Don Larson, Cy Young, Sandy Koufax. Don Larson. The bullet train first operated between which two Japanese cities? Tokyo, Osaka, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Kyoto. Tokyo, Osaka. The double helix model earned which scientists the Nobel Prize? Franklin and Wilkins, Watson and Crick, Pauling and Chargaff. Watson and Crick. Which snack food was marketed as Bet You Can't Eat Just One? Lay's potato chips, Cracker Jack, Fritos corn chips. Lay's potato chips. The 1972 Olympics were notable for which controversial event? Drug scandals, terrorist attack, judging corruption. Terrorist attack. Which aircraft became known as the Spruce Goose? Boeing 747, Hughes H-4, Lockheed Constellation. Hughes H-4. The greenhouse effect was first described in which century? 18th, 19th, 20th. 19th. Which television drama featured a Korean War medical unit? Combat, MASH, The Rat Patrol. MASH. Pangea was the name given to which geological formation? Mountain range, supercontinent, ocean basin. Supercontinent. Chicken a la king was typically served over which base? Rice, toast points, pasta. Toast points. Which basketball team won the most NBA championships in the 1960s? Lakers, Celtics, Warriors. Celtics. The first commercial jetliner service connected London to which city? Paris, Johannesburg, New York. Johannesburg. Insulin was first extracted from which animal organ? Pancreas, liver, kidney. Pancreas. Which frozen dinner brand pioneered the TV dinner concept? Swanson, Stouffer's, Banquet. Swanson. The Thrilla in Manila boxing match occurred in which year? 1974, 1975, 1976. 1975. The Metroliner train service operated between which two cities? New York, Washington, Boston, New York, Chicago, Detroit. New York, Washington. The CAT scan technology was based on which mathematical principle? Calculus, tomography, geometry. Tomography. Which sitcom featured a genie living with an astronaut? Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, My Favorite Martian. I Dream of Jeannie. The continental shelf extends to what average depth? 100 feet, 600 feet, 1,200 feet. 600 feet. Green goddess dressing was created at which type of establishment? Restaurant, hotel, country club. Hotel. Which horse won the Triple Crown in 1973? Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Affirmed. Secretariat. The maglev train technology uses which scientific principle? Vacuum pressure, magnetic levitation, compressed air. Magnetic levitation. The first MRI scan was performed in which year? 1975, 1977, 1979. 1977. Which candy bar was advertised as satisfying? Milky Way, Snickers, Three Musketeers. Snickers. The 1980 Miracle on Ice occurred during which round? Finals, semifinals, quarterfinals. Semifinals. The channel connects England to which country? France, Ireland, Netherlands. France. Radiocarbon dating is effective for specimens up to how many years old? 25,000, 50,000, 100,000. 50,000. Which science fiction series featured a Vulcan character? Lost in Space, Star Trek, The Twilight Zone. Star Trek. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is an example of which geological feature? Transform fault, spreading center, subduction zone. Spreading center. Beef stroganoff traditionally includes which type of cream? Heavy cream, sour cream, creme fraiche. Sour cream. Which tennis tournament is played on clay courts? Wimbledon, French Open, US Open. French Open. What particle flow creates electric current? Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4. Mach 3. Last question. Fiber optics revolutionized which industry first? Telecommunications, medical imaging, computer networking. Telecommunications. And that's the last one. Thanks for playing along with Quiz Time. I hope you had a blast and maybe even jogged a few fun memories. If you enjoyed this quiz, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to click the bell so you'll be the first to know when a new quiz drops. Share your score in the comments below, and we'll see you next time for some more fun trivia.